Srinivas.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So hello everyone for another episode of our Satsang with Guruji, Colonel T. Srinivasuruji, and we have sadhaks who have joined from all over the world. I'm Siddhayogini Tanishka from Melbourne Beach, Florida. I have been initiated by Guruji T. Srinivasuruji in the year 2019. So now we go ahead with the introductions of our sadhaks. We have Srinivas Rayankula from Toronto, Canada. We have Jacques G from, where are you from, Jacques?
From Switzerland.
Okay, the Jacques is from Switzerland. He's a disciple of Greg G. And we have David Cohen from Ireland, Belfast, Northern Ireland. And we have, who else is here? We have Hiral Naik from Bombay. Again, another sadhak of mine. And Mr. K.R. Pratik. Can you please tell whose disciple you are?
Guru Rachna Ma.
Okay, Rachna ji. Okay. He's a
Ji.
disciple of Guruji Rachna ji. Okay. Good. So, welcome Guruji, Pranam and Charan Sparsh.
God bless you all.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Pranam Guruji, Charan Sparsh. Any disciples have any questions? I think some of the questions Guruji got it before the satsang, so he can start on that, explaining on those things. Right, Guruji?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, I think Srinivas, you had some questions, no? Last time?
Yes, Kuruma, I can have a question ready.
Yeah,
If you're
last
ready,
time
I'll
you
go
did
ahead.
send something, right? Some
Yes.
email or something. Yeah, you can ask
Yes.
Guruji about that.
Yes, thank you. Request everyone to go on mute except Guruji so that your face will show on the screen. So, pranams, Guruman, Guruji. It's great to see you here. So, the question I have is it's a very basic beginner question, even though I've been doing sadhan for 2 years. And I'm sure many beginner sadhaks can also benefit from this question. So, the question is first stage, I'm trying to understand how to do the sadhan in a correct way. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The first stage is Shaktipat has been given, but no kriyas have emanated. So, what the sadhak is required to do is mentally visualize the guru and mentally utter the guru mantra until such time the kriyas happen. So, this I've been doing. The second stage, once the kriyas have emanated, what I'm doing is I'm stopping the visualization of my guru mentally and stopping the guru mantra mentally. I'm just focusing on the kriyas, just watching the kriyas until such time the kriya stops. When the kriya stops, again I restart visualizing mentally and mentally saying the guru mantra. Please correct me if I'm wrong in these steps. Thank you.
Okay, sure. First of all, let me wish you all a very, very happy Akshaya Tritiya festival. It is a very auspicious festival in India. This is the day usually people try and buy gold and accumulate in their household. Apart from that, any work which is started today is supposed to be very auspicious. For beginning any work, today is supposed to be very auspicious. And when it comes to our Shaktipat lineage, we have a special connection with this day. And what is that special connection? In modern times, the first Shaktipat Diksha was given on this day about 137 years ago. That means the lineage of our Shaktipat Gurus officially started from this auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya in year 1889. In the year 1889, of course, the date will not exactly match as per the Gregorian calendar, because this Akshaya Tritiya festival is celebrated based on the lunar calendar system. So there will be a variation in the exact calendar date. As I understand, in 1889, the Akshaya Tritiya festival was on 25th of April, whereas now, after 137 years, now it is on 19th of April. It has already started and it will go on till 20th morning. So on this day, 137 years ago, our lineage started with His Holiness Swami Gangadhar Tirtha. He used to live in the city of Puri in the modern day state of Odisha in India. And the first Shaktipat Diksha was given to a gentleman called Kali Kishore. And just be on the line for a second. Yeah, his name was Kali Kishore. And he came from Bangladesh, modern day Bangladesh. And he was the first one to receive Shaktipat Diksha. And His Holiness Swami Gangadhar Tirtha gave the only Shaktipat Diksha in his lifetime to Kali Kishore, who later became known as Narayan Dev Tirtha. So that's how our parampara started on this day of Akshaya Tritiya. So on this happy occasion, let me all wish you a very, very happy Akshaya Tritiya festival. So now coming to the questions which you raised, let me clarify it by saying that first of all, you should not look at this Shaktipat initiation or the process of Shaktipat initiation the way you look at any physical activity. It will not work that way. And further, it is yes, from practical working point of view, yes, that's the what you have suggested in the three options which you mentioned. That's how one is supposed to go about doing it. That means that is the mechanism which you need to follow. That you can follow. There's no problem on that. But you need to understand that it is not like any other physical activity, and your approach has to be little different for that. For example, once the Shaktipat initiation has been given, please understand that there's nothing known as Shaktipat working or Shaktipat not working, because it is not like any physical activity wherein we are trying to press, an electric button. Although the analogy may be same, Here the energy which is being transmitted is not the gross physical energy, rather it is in its fundamental form. It's a very, very finer form. In its finer form, the energy itself is a conscious entity. It instantly knows what is there in the mind of the guru who is transmitting it, and it instantly knows what is on the mind of the disciple who is receiving it. So from this point of view, there's nothing known as Shaktipat working or Shaktipat not working. Because Guru himself is not doing anything here. Because Guru has been given that authorization by his own Guru to perform Shaktipat. So he is only invoking the blessings of the lineage of Gurus, that Shaktipat should happen for the person. That's all what is happening here. Other than this, there's nothing else which is happening. Please understand this. So, yes, for the sake of following the procedure, yes, that's what you are supposed to do. You focus the mind on the Guru and start chanting the mantra given by Guru. Whether Kriyas manifest, whether Kriyas don't manifest, it is none of your concern. You just follow what you are supposed to do. That's it. And same is the case when Kriyas start manifesting. But here you need to understand the mantra has to stop on its own. Mantra has to stop on its own. It's not that Kriyas have started manifesting and you have stopped the mantra and you stopped focusing on the Guru's image. That's not the way it works. In fact, the situation will develop in such a way wherein you will not be able to continue chanting the mantra, or you will not be able to focus on the image of the Guru. It happens in a very natural way and it happens on its own. When that thing happens, you keep observing the kriyas which are manifesting. And the next day when you begin the sadhana again focus on the Guru, start chanting the mantra. That's how you got to keep doing about it. And for those of you who have, what is the third question you are inquiring? Third question is also similar to this only.
Yes, Guruji, same question.
Yeah, because once the kriyas stop, you will come to know when they stopped, and keep observing the kriyas at that time.
Yeah.
Next day when you sit for sadhana, again start focusing on the Guru and start chanting the mantra. That's how you go about doing it, and ultimately mantra will come to a halt. It's not going to go on permanently forever, because mantra itself is only to kickstart the kriyas, and at some stage the kriyas are bound to stop. When the karma is being cleaned up, the impact which you feel is what is called as kriya. The reaction which you experience is what is called as kriya. It can happen either in the day-to-day physical world, or it can happen mentally, it can happen physically, or it can be related to intellect or egoism also. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Guruji, answers my question. Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Anybody else? Any other sadhaks? David, you have questions?
can discuss my practice if that's okay with Guruji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, what we've been talking about already. So Guruji, I just want to say, I've done the mantras before, and I was explained to not do anything, so I don't do anything during Sudan at all. But it still works. it still reacts to me, so it seems to be okay for now. Is that okay?
Again, say the question again, please.
So when I do Sudan, I don't actually do anything at all, but it still works. I still have kriyas.
You mean to say that kriyas manifest even if you are not doing sadhana?
No, when I do Sudan, I don't do anything in Sudan at all. I just sit and do nothing.
Okay, that's all. Don't bother about it. That's what I was telling you earlier also.
It takes
You don't bother
2 or
about
3
that.
minutes. It takes 2 or 3 minutes until the kriyas start, and then it just carries on. So it's fine.
Please repeat it again. What did you say?
Yeah. So if I don't do anything at all, within about 2 or 3 minutes, then the energy starts to move upward and starts behaving with kriyas. It's just normal. It's like a normal experience for me.
No, I haven't still understood your doubt.
Yeah, Guruji,
Can
I'll
you?
go ahead and repeat
Yeah.
it. What
Yeah,
I think
please.
looks like a mic problem at Mr. David's end. What he's saying is, the moment he sits for sadhana, within 2 minutes, the energy starts going up without doing anything. He wants to know whether he's doing it, it is correct. What he's doing is right.
Yeah, that's perfectly all right.
Thank you.
That is kriya only. The surging of the energy, it is a kriya only.
Okay.
Keep observing it. But don't stop the mantra. The mantra has to stop on its own. Remember it.
So continue the mantra.
Yeah, please continue the chanting of mantra.
Okay.
Don't stop the mantra. The thumb rule is the mantra has to stop on its own.
Okay.
That is the thumb rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Guruji. I have one more question. I had the opportunity to read The Power Unknown to God for the second time. So it felt different reading it again. I found that I'm getting to know more things. There is a sentence that says, the nature of physical reality has no other basis other than being illusionary in nature as per the accumulated karma. It is as real as we dream in sleep. So my question is, can we take it to believe that all our day-to-day sufferings, which is lack of money, lack of health, violence, they're all happening in a state of imagination and it's all unreal? For example, this means if I choose to starve to death, will fate allow me to do that? Thank you.
Repeat the last sentence.
The last sentence is, can we take it to believe that all our day-to-day sufferings, which is could be due to lack of money, due to lack of health, violence, they're all happening in a state of imagination, and it's all really unreal. It's not really happening, it's all just unreal. So say, for example, if I choose to starve to death, I'm not really dying, it's just an illusion.
Okay. See, first of all, now human mind itself normally exists in 3 different states. That is waking state, dream state, and the deep sleep. When the deep sleep is happening, you are not aware of the thing. Only thing is that once upon waking up, you remember that you had a good sleep. So basically, ordinarily, these are the states of the human mind: waking, dream, and sleep. Now, from this waking state, we are now referring to what is known as the superconscious state, which is known as the Turiya state. Now, that is the state when it's supposed to drift, upon which the soul, which is at the core of the human being, it realizes its own divine nature. So, if that be the case, whatever the human experience which we are undergoing through, I understand that the question which you asked me just now, it pertains to the waking state only. It doesn't pertain to the state of superconsciousness. And in the state of waking, yes, everything one experiences is basically, it's like akin to a dream state only. What one experiencing in dream state, you, upon waking up, the dream dissipates. Similarly, when the human mind drifts into superconscious state, what you have been experiencing in the waking state, it will also start appearing as a kind of a illusory thing. So therefore, all experiences, whatever one is undergoing through, they are real in the sense because we are all going through the waking state as of now. None of us, we are not in the undergoing through the state of superconsciousness. It is because of that, whatever we are undergoing through, it is absolutely, it is, you can say, psychedelic in nature. This may not last when we move towards the drift towards the superconscious state. All suffering, all enjoyment, whatever one is undergoing through, is all psychedelic in nature. The reality or the physical reality, as we are saying, as we normally understand day-to-day life, it is real as well as non-real. It becomes non-real when the mind drifts into the state of superconsciousness. Till the time it doesn't shift into the state of superconsciousness, it becomes very real. For example, when someone is undergoing through a dream, the dream is very real at that point. As long as the dream lasts, the dream is very real. You know that. It is only upon drifting into waking state that dream will disappear. Same is the situation here also. Now coming to the question of someone trying to starve to death. Yes, if that is the way someone is supposed to undergo through its destiny, it may happen. It doesn't matter whether it is a question of death, whether it is a question of pain, whether it is a question of accident, or whether it is a question of fame, whether it is a question of enjoyment. Everything is in a way psychedelic experience only. Only people are getting little confused because we are now the issue of flesh and blood is coming up. Now here it is being said that even the question of flesh and blood is also akin to garment which is the soul is putting on temporarily. That means upon death, suppose if the garment is torn or it has become unfit due to some accident, and if the soul has to quit it behind, it will leave along with its phantom body. Rest everything is intact. It is only the gross body of flesh and blood is left behind. So ultimately, it remains here the psychedelic existence still remains. Because human being has got 5 layers spun around him. The gross body of flesh and blood, is the outermost sheath. Beyond that is the sheath of life force, and beyond that is the sheath of mind. Beyond that is the sheath of intellect, and lastly, it is a sheath of bliss. Beyond the outer layer of this flesh and blood, there are 4 layers, and all the 4 layers are intact. They constitute what you call that Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. So the subtle body quits this gross body of flesh and blood, and it lives. So all experiences boils down to psychedelic experience only at the end of the day, as long as the person has not managed to venture into the state of super consciousness. I hope now it is clear.
Yes, Guruji, it's very clear. Thank you. Guruji, one other question I have is, if nobody has questions, I'll go and ask this. One of the reason why we do this sadhana is to clean up our karma, wash away all the karma. And you constantly give the example of a cloth which has colors on it, and we wash it and all the color goes away, to illustrate that it's getting washed away. So how do we see this? As someone has a sadhana doing this, how do we see our karma being washed away? Is there some way we can see it in some fashion? Can we see like a dirty water going away, something like that? Can the guru see it, for instance?
Yes, when the karma is getting washed away, different karmas are washed away in different way, and certain experiences one can make out. For example, someone has accumulated a strong karma because he had been a pickpocket in the previous life. He had stolen money from people. Now in the current life, he managed to receive Shaktipat Diksha, and he is doing sadhana. When the karma is getting eliminated, he himself may lose money once or twice, because he has accumulated so much of karma, and in order to wipe out that karma, the Shakti is going to compress that karma, and it will make him undergo through some mandatory experience, because karma can only be eliminated by undergoing through the experience finally. So you can clearly make out that that person must have been a big thief in the previous life. Similarly, if someone is destined to make, let's say, win a lottery, let's say $1 million, he may end up winning a lottery, all right, but a very minimal amount, and that much of religious merit which he has acquired, that is now washed away. See, both the virtue and both the vice, they both are washed away. Okay. So one can make out when the karma is being washed away. Is your audio all right?
Yes, Guruji, I'm unmuted it now. Yes, it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Please go ahead.
David, unmute yourself if you want to speak. Yeah. That's fine.
Yes, I've done that. Yeah. Okay, Guruji. So, I think you mentioned before about the power of Maya, which means when we try to do practice, the Maya will try to stop us. So that can be a case of when the Maya is trying to play with your mind to try to separate you from your guru, as the material world is trying to hold on. Is the best way to resolve this to think of your guru?
What is the last sentence? I haven't understood.
So is the best way to resolve this to surrender to your guru and to pray to your guru to stop the Maya influence?
The Maya.
Yeah,
He
that's
means to
right.
say Maya.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's perfectly all right. See, you agree with me when I say this. Everything in nature, it will start performing its duty. It will start acting as per its nature. For example, what is the nature of the fire? To produce heat and burn. Similarly, what is the nature of anything for that matter? For example, the Earth's gravitational pull. If anything is trying to fly away from the Earth's gravitational pull, the nature of the Mother Earth is to pull it down. Right? Similarly, when you pour, let's say, some water on the ground, it will flow. It will not stand at a place. It will flow, whichever is the according to the gravity. In whichever direction is the slope, the water will flow. And what is the nature of the wind? Nature of the wind is to dry anything. So in the nature, every element performs its function, its duty, the way it is ordained naturally. Similarly, what is the nature of sunlight? It gives rise to food to the plants in the form of through the process of photosynthesis. And in human beings, it also manufactures vitamin D. Right? So, similarly, when a human being has been caught, what do you call, in Maya, and he has been thrown into Maya by God, by the God. Now he's stuck in the cycle of Maya now. The human being is stuck in the cycle of Maya because he's under the influence of the Maya now. Now what will happen if someone tries to escape it? The Maya will start acting on it and start pulling him back. Just like the Earth's gravitation, when you throw some stone into the air, the Earth's gravitation will start pulling it down immediately. So it's a very natural process. And this you got to understand it. Any yoga practitioner, when he's trying to burn down his karma, essentially is trying to escape the Maya and free himself out. So once the karma is eliminated, he's becoming free from the spell of Maya. And the Maya is trying to catch him and pull him back. So in such circumstances, now the spirit being none other than the divine only, or the part of is of the nature of the divine. And since it is trying to free itself from the Maya, So the best way or the best option for the soul is to surrender itself to the divine only, to the universal God, or to the Guru Tattva. Right? That's the reason why it is said in the great Sanskrit text, Gita, Lord Krishna says, yes, it is difficult to pierce through the Maya, all right, or to overcome the power of Maya, all right. But for those who surrender to him, it becomes easy. When we say Lord Krishna, we are talking about the universal God only, basically, or the divine, whichever may be the religion. Or in case of a yoga practitioner, it becomes Guru Tattva. So by exercising surrender to the Guru Tattva, one can overcome the binding power of Maya comparatively easier. I hope it's clear now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Anybody else? No, Angela is also joined. She joined from France. Hiral, you have any questions?
No, Guruma.
Okay. Yeah. God bless you.
Guruji, I have a question, if you don't mind. The question I have is, these days one hears a lot of people, especially young people, actually vast majority that say, I hate my job, my work does not bring me satisfaction, I have no life purpose, I have no motivation in life. I see that in my own family too. So what can we say to them? What can we do to motivate them to bring a zest into their jobs and lives? Thank you.
The question doesn't belong to the subject of spiritualism. It is a social problem. It's a social problem.
Okay.
How can I answer that?
I mean, other than saying take Shaktipat, is there anything else we can tell them as a way to motivate them? Do we have any answers to problems for such people?
See, as I said, Shaktipat is performed under a different set of conditions altogether. Okay? Shaktipat has got nothing to do with the social problems.
Yeah.
Shaktipat is meant for a different thing altogether. But the problem which you mentioned, it belongs to the society. It is a social problem. It's a day-to-day problem of mankind. How can we provide any solution to that?
Okay.
Yes, what we can do is, when the person is ripe for its return journey, that is spiritual journey, then it's a different situation altogether. We try to eliminate the entire karmic balance comprehensively. But that's not the case here.
Right.
Because everyone is not in that situation. The balance between various gunas, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Sattvaguna, there will be a lot of variation. Unless the gunas get balanced out, they reach a state of equilibrium, the Shakti doesn't get awakened. The return journey doesn't begin. So till that point of time, the play has to go on. The play between Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattvagun, the play has to continue. So you cannot have any solution in isolation for that.
Okay.
And even if there is a solution, it will be within the parameters of the social problems only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, doctor. Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else has any question?
Guruji, I have one more question. So it sounds like a very silly question I've been wanting to ask you. We've been hearing all your podcast, speeches, and everything in all different languages, in English, Telugu, and Hindi. I don't know if you know more languages. So the question I have is, this fluency in language, is it a result, is it an ability gained after your Kundalini awakening, or is it something developed as a part of adult growing up? So just that. Thank you.
No, please repeat the question.
Guruji's question is, since we've been observing you give the discussion satsangs in various languages, in Telugu, in English, in Hindi. So I just wanted to know, this fluency what you have, is it a result, is it an ability you have gained after your Kundalini awakening, or is it something which you have developed as an adult growing up? Is it just a part of your life, just growing up?
See, whether it is the ability to speak, it is basically is a karma only, no?
Yeah.
It is one of the 5 karmendriyas. Okay.
Right.
And similarly, whatever you speak, it is all part of the intellect only. It is all part of the Maya only. Now, when the Kundalini awakens, what is supposed to do? First, you focus on that, then you will get probably the answer. It is supposed to neutralize the accumulated karma. When you light fire, what the fire is supposed to do?
Burn.
It is supposed to burn down the thing, whatever for which you lit the fire. Because the nature of the fire is to burn everything down. Similarly, when the Kundalini energy is awakened, its nature is to burn the karma, or neutralize the karma, or to disintegrate the karma. And if the karma is too strong, it will try and compress it and then eliminate it. If the karma is not that strong, it may destroy it without allowing it to sprout or manifest it into a physical reality. So as part of this, let's say if someone is like, it's not about me for that matter, but it is about anyone else. If he's delivering some good speech, or he has got the oratory skills in multiple languages, it's all part of his karma being burned down, no? After Kundalini energy is awakened. If Kundalini energy has not been awakened, then you will be accumulating with the karma only. You may have developed that skill in the natural order of things, because it is like any other skill which a person has developed. Suppose, let's say, a situation wherein Kundalini energy has not been awakened. Now what will happen? Someone will have a lot of muscle strength, someone will have a lot of intellectual abilities, someone will have a beautiful voice. You see, different people have got different skills as part of the natural birth, a natural manifestation of the body based on the accumulated karma again, right? So in what way does it matter when the Kundalini energy is awakened? In fact, it is supposed to wipe out this karma now. Why will it create further karma for the person? I hope your question is answered now.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, Angela has some questions. Please unmute, Angela.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you
hear
loud.
me now?
Yes,
Sorry?
yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
I
you.
can hear you.
Do you know my Sadhguruji, Greg Haji, always says to us, if you have a problem, hand it over to me. So if I have accumulated frustration, I hand it over to him. But in fact, that is only Maya. My frustration is Maya, isn't it?
Can you please repeat it again? Still, couldn't follow it.
You know my Sadhguruji, Greg Haji.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yes. So he says when we have got a problem, we hand it over to him. When I have got frustration in my gallbladder, I hand the frustration over to him. That is Maya, isn't it?
See, frustration is, of course, the Maya only, part of the Maya. And gallbladder is also part of the Maya.
Yes.
That is to say that, as we say, exercise surrender to the divine, and surrender all your problems also to the divine. That's what it amounts to say. You mean to say that?
Yes, and I wanted to know if as it is Maya, it will automatically disappear. It's only an illusion. Or does Guru Tattva do really something so that I get rid of it? I do not know
See,
whether I'm clear.
as I said, after Shaktipat, the karma accumulated by a person is, of course, it's compressed. He will be made to undergo the mandatory reaction, because the action has to be followed by reaction. If someone has performed a karma, the consequences have to be borne. The law of karma can't be violated per se. Fundamentally, it can't be violated. However, the impact will get reduced. It will get compressed to a great extent, and the person is going to experience the consequences of the reduced karma. But then the law will be applicable across the board, but both for your good karma also as well as bad karma also.
But
That means you can't expect that my good
fresh karma. It's fresh karma from this life. So it will not be wiped out quickly because it's fresh, isn't it?
Yes, okay, it doesn't matter even if it is fresh or if it is not fresh, old one. The impact will be same. If it is not that your old, if your karma is old, the impact will not be there, and the fresh karma is new, the impact will be there. It's not like that. Karma is karma, right? The consequences have to be undergone through. That part is clear. But for an ordinary person, the impact is going to be full blown. He has to face the consequences of the full blown karma, both good as well as the bad. But for a practitioner, after Shaktipat, the karma is now compressed. Again, both good as well as bad, both types of karma is compressed and is now neutralized. Right? So that part is okay, fine. But this applies only to the serious practitioners. Please understand that. It's not that someone has taken Shaktipat initiation. Now he hasn't been practicing at all. That means the burning down of karma itself is not going on in optimum manner. In such a situation, obviously, how can you expect that the karma will get neutralized? But the bottom line is, both your good karma as well as bad karma, both will get eliminated. It's not that you want your good karma to be intact and only the bad karma to be eliminated. It will not happen that way. Okay?
Thank you.
Because you have to face it boldly. Once the karma is there, then karma has to be, consequences have to be undergone. Yes, if you are a serious practitioner, if you are exercising surrender to the Guru Tattva, you will be delivered from the entire karma, both good as well as the bad. Your slate will be clean, neat and clean. Be thankful to that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Any other sadhaks have any questions for Guruji? Guruji, last time I think you had a conversation with Rachnaji Sadhaks. Can we take some of the questions from that?
Yeah, please go ahead. Ask whatever you want.
Srini, you have in the list of questions last time that they did send it. You remember?
Yes. I have the list of I made list of 10 questions.
Okay.
So do you want me to
Because I
ask?
think they did it in Hindi, so we
Did
can
it
take
in
few
Hindi.
of the questions in English.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll post in the chat, Guruji, all the English questions so you can answer them if it is easier for you.
Yeah.
Give me a quick second. I'll post it here. Okay, chat. Somehow it's not getting posted here, Guruma. Let me try this. I'm trying to copy and paste
No,
it here.
I got that list now. I can start asking Guruji, right,
Yeah,
Guruji?
please.
Yeah, please.
So the first question was, does self-realization arise through personal effort or solely through divine grace? And what is the true relationship between the two?
Self-realization will not occur through own effort. It's not possible because a person doesn't know what all karma he has accumulated. Since a person doesn't know what all karma he has accumulated and how much of karma he has accumulated, how does he know how much karma is left out, how much is being eliminated? Because self-realization can only occur if the karma is wiped out. That is the bottom line. Karma can only be wiped out by the cosmic power which has created it, or someone has to undergo the consequences of that. Then only the karma can be neutralized. And of course, one doesn't know how much of karma is there in the behind. So how can self-realization occur for anyone in such a circumstances? Because first of all, what you need to understand is what you mean by self-realization. Because unless that is, if you don't understand that, then probably what do you call, the concept will not be understood. The spirit which is there at the core of every human being, it is unable to realize its own nature. It is unable to understand what it is, because it is under a spell of illusion. It is under a spell of illusion. If some mechanism can be provided by hook or crook, when the spirit can realize what it is, it's a game is over now. Game is set. And the only mechanism one can think of, or well, all scriptures have been harping on, is if the mind can be made to thrown into a state of absolute calm, then the mind will act as a mirror for this soul which is at the core of the human body. When the mind is acting as a mirror, now the soul is there at the core of the human being. It starts getting a glimpse of what it is for the first time. Now, obviously, just like we all see our face in the mirror, now the soul has no form. Since the soul has no form, now what is that which is getting reflected back to it? Its divine nature is getting reflected back to it. And what is that divine nature? Truth absolute, consciousness absolute, bliss absolute. The soul knows that it is the only existence. There is no other existence other than the soul. That's called the divine. Or to put it in another way, God knows that only He exists alone and nothing else exists other than Him. He is the only existence. That's what you mean by truth absolute. Then is consciousness absolute. God is aware that He is alive. That's consciousness absolute. And of course, He is in a state of bliss all the time. So these three qualities, they start getting reflected back to the soul when the mind is in a state of absolute calm. Now, what is that which is blocking it normally, under normal circumstances? Why the soul is unable to see its nature reflected back to it? Because the mind is in a chaotic state. And why the mind is in chaotic state? Because of the karma which is there beneath the surface of the mind, which we call it as subconscious mind. So the karma which is there below the surface of the conscious mind, which we call subconscious mind, that is the thing which is creating the chaos, creating the ripples on the surface. As a result, the surface of the mind is thrown into various modifications based on various human emotions. That's why the soul is not able to see itself. So this is the condition for the soul to know its own divine nature. And also, we just now we talked about it. We don't know how much karma has been accumulated, how much karma is balanced. In such a situation, how can someone achieve self-realization by own effort? People may think out of egoism, I have done a lot of good things in life, I have donated to charity, I have performed a lot of sacrificial fires, I have accumulated a lot of religious merit, I have done a lot of feeding to the hungry, I have helped out so many human beings. So he is counting on his good deeds. He thinks that since he has accumulated so much of good merit, so he'll be able to realize the divine and or realize the own divine nature. Without realizing that, all this adding to is further karma now. It is adding to his own karma, further karma now. So what is the way out? The only way out is the divine blessing. Through the blessing of the Guru Tattva, the burning process of that karma has to get triggered. It's only when the karma is now neutralized, the soul, which is at the core of the human body, it starts getting its own nature reflected back to it. I hope it is clear now. If you understand the mechanism of what you mean by the so-called self-realization, you will not ask this question.
Yeah, Guruji. Then the next one is, what is the true definition of surrender? Is it an act, a state, or the complete dissolution of the ego?
Yes, it is a state of the mind. It is, of course, a dissolution of the ego, all right. But then it has to, happen on its own. Just like you can't drift into sleep state instantly. You are in waking state. You can't drift into dream state or sleep state instantly. You can take the necessary precautions which are required so that your mind drifts into that state naturally. And when you are in a deep sleep, you know that the ego is disintegrated completely. Like, I mean to say, you can't sleep with your ego intact, right? When the ego is disintegrated, then only you fall asleep. Or rather, when you fall asleep, the ego is disintegrated. You don't know. You don't know. You don't have any awareness of yourself. So in a way, you are surrendering yourself to the goddess of sleep. The same is the case in the opposite direction. From the waking state only, you start exercising surrender to the divine, to the universal God, and you take necessary precautions to exercise the surrender, because you can't order this self-surrender. And as the divine starts sucking the person into its fold, the ego also start getting evaporated, and the mind of the yoga practitioner, it starts settling down in a state of surrender. I hope it's clear now.
How can Guru devotion be cultivated in a natural and deeply authentic way?
We just now spoke about it. As I said, it is not a physical exercise that can be accomplished. It's not like a physical exercise that one goes to gymnasium and starts building up his muscles. It can't be done in that way. Neither it is like any other physical sport where you perfect your skill. All that one can do is undertake the preparatory steps, use this innovation, ensure that the mind is always focused on the Guru Tattva. Because the mind, it is very in an unstable situation. Like mind is like a monkey. Mind is like a monkey, a drunk monkey, that too. Further, bitten by a scorpion. It is so unstable. So, since the mind is so unstable, now use the same mind innovatively and turn that weakness of the mind on itself. Let's say mind has got certain characteristics, like it has got something known as a force of habit also. It develops a force of habit out of habit. So let's say you force the mind voluntarily to undertake a particular action on a daily basis regularly. Because of that force of the habit, the mind will get hooked onto that idea. So by hook or crook, by using some innovative technique, see that the mind is always focused on the Guru Tattva. Always chant the name of the Guru, imagine the Guru image, picture always. Whatever a person does, one should always mind should be focused only on the Guru. Now, as a result, in the longer run, the divinity will suck the person to its fold. How it happens, no one knows. How the mechanism exactly works, no one knows. But the devotion automatically sucks you into its fold towards the divine. Till that thing happens, all that person can do is undertake various actions what he can do. Just now, like I mentioned. For example, someone is a devotee of Lord Ram. Let him go and visit as many Ram temples as possible. Let him go and watch the street play of Lord Ram. Let him go and read the books of Ramayana. Let him go and celebrate the birthday of Ram. Let him go and make pilgrimages to various shrines where Lord Ram has visited. Let him write the name of Lord Ram millions of times. Because that's how he is ensuring that the mind is hooked onto the idea of Ram. And just keep it that way. Later on, what happens, we have no idea. We have no control over it. The devotion will suck the yoga practitioner towards itself. I hope I have answered your question now to some extent.
Can Shaktipat occur in the dream state? And if so, how can its authenticity be recognized?
See, Shaktipat means what? You are triggering the burning down of your karma. Shaktipat means you are triggering the burning down of your karma. And when is karma performed? Is it in dream state or waking state? Karma is performed by someone in waking state. Then only it will become karma. If someone commits a theft, in dream state, he will not be punished for it in waking state, right? If someone has committed an act of charity in dream state, he is not going to derive any benefit of that in his waking state. So you see, karma is always committed while a person is in waking state. And the karma has been accumulated by a person because of all the karmas which he has accumulated in waking state only. Whatever he has done in the dream state every day, they are not accumulated. So, if Shaktipat is meant to burn down the karma, to trigger the burning down of karma, so that has to happen only in waking state only. No? How can it happen in dream state? Because karma, because Shaktipat is meant for burning down the karma. Shaktipat is meant to burn down the process, or begin the process of burning down of karma. And there is no karma in dream state. So even if someone performs Shaktipat, how can it start burning the karma down there? Or how can the Shaktipat will work on a kind of a ghost karma? The karma committed in a dream state, if someone has committed a murder, it is like a ghost karma. No, it has no meaning, it has no relevance. Okay, I hope it is clear now.
So, Guruji, my next question is this Deva Diksha and all happening. So, is it in a dream state or in a waking state?
Say again, repeat the question, please.
This Deva Diksha and all happening, sometimes, I mean, in the literatures, in the lot of other literatures, it's written that Deva Diksha is happening, or in dreams also, some higher gurus, they come and they initiate. And of course, after that, they have to take physical initiation from a guru. But then, is there no relevance to that? I mean, is it not important that dream state Diksha?
Look, people keep writing a lot of things in the literature. Okay, there has to be some basis for it. As I just now explained to you, karma is committed when someone is in a waking state, right? And it has to be addressed while a person is in waking state. Some person got injured, met with an accident in dream state. You don't need to attend to his injuries when after he is woken up, after he wakes up, because there is no injury in the waking state. Okay. Similarly, now Shaktipat has to happen through a process ordained by the divine in the natural order of things. Someone has to take up birth. He has to be born in the natural order of things. No, he has to be born to parents. He can't manifest out of thin air. Although if God wants, it can happen also. There's no embargo on that. But God has laid down a particular procedure for that. Similarly, someone has met with an accident. He has to be rushed to a hospital. He has to be attended to by doctors. Yes, God only saving him, all right. But God is executing his blessing through a mechanism, through a procedure. So, same is the case with Shaktipat Diksha, Shaktipat initiation. There is a physical guru available in the society, and through whom the process of initiation is affected, and the person receives Shaktipat. And as long as the person's mind is focused on the Guru, the burning down of karma keeps going on at a rapid rate. That's how the society has been ordained by God. Now, someone says that no, I will pick up a guru from history books. Anyone can pick up any figure from the history books. That how the process will be affected here. The mechanism has to be affected. No? We have to undergo through that procedure. That's the problem. I mean, someone receiving divine diksha and all that, when people speak about all that, and but then again they themselves say that no, again physical diksha has to be taken followed by that. What does it mean? Or maybe if they want to convey this idea that no, they got an indication that they may receive Shaktipat diksha later on. Okay, that's a different thing. It's more of a prediction now. There's no diksha per se happening here. Someone must have got an inkling that he may receive Shaktipat diksha very soon from a physical guru. Maybe he got a dream, and it so happened that he met with physical guru and he received Shaktipat diksha. All right, but that doesn't mean that he received Shaktipat diksha during the dream, right? Because the process cannot be affected here. Otherwise,
Guruji,
what else? In what way can the divine diksha can happen? You tell me. Daivik diksha.
Guruji, I have another question. In our books, Vishnu Tirji Maharaj, at a very young age, he got this Deva Diksha, no? Like from something came from the sky and he got initiated, and immediately his Kriyas and all started. He was very young at that age. He didn't know what is Kriya and all. But later on, I mean, very late in life, then he got initiated. But then that time he did get that Deva Diksha, no? Something coming from the sky and his
See,
Kriyas
that is a
manifested.
carry forward. Like you're probably getting confused with that. Suppose in a particular lifetime, a person has received Shaktipat and the Shakti has been awakened. The burning of karma has started. Now, in that lifetime, the karma has not been neutralized completely, and due to some reason, the person has to end the life due to accident, due to old age, or for some other reason. In the next lifetime, he is going to begin exactly where he has left the journey, so that the person doesn't have to repeat everything all over again. So now the Shakti is already awakened. It is now in a state of boiling, almost like a boiling water. So Kriyas will be manifesting, but the burning down will not be happening in a systematic way. That's why Shaktipat is required. Shaktipat is required either to awaken the Kundalini energy or to stabilize the already awakened Kundalini energy. In those two conditions, Shaktipat is required. Now, how can you say that that is a divine initiation and all that? Because that has already been active. And most often, especially to the spiritually advanced people like Swami Vishnu Tirtha and all that, or for that matter, any human being, it is not usually, it takes more than one lifetime to neutralize the karma. So invariably, they would have undergone through this lot of neutralization of the karma in their past life. So when they take up birth again, it is just a continuation of that. But then they have to undergo through that procedure of the relationship of disciple and guru. It cannot be violated. That means just like a person cannot get a medical treatment from any other person except through a doctor. That means a person has received some treatment for a disease. That means the person got to be the doctor from whom he has received the medical treatment. That law cannot be violated. Okay? It may happen that it's a mild headache or mild fever. Okay, someone has advised him some tablet and he has taken the tablet and has become all right. Right? But that doesn't mean that that person became all right without the doctor's help. It is a kind of whosoever has advised him to take the tablet is also perform the role of a doctor little bit, probably. Since the disease was not a major disease, it's a minor fever or something, he might have got cured. All right. But that's not the proper way in the beginning, first of all. That's not the proper way, per se. So similarly, if it is a mild fever like or minor cough and cold, okay, fine. But when it comes to a serious business like spiritual journey, it has to be done through a proper procedure, through the medium of a guru. You can't rely on books or YouTube or pick up a guru at random from the history books and say that no, he is my guru. I will take diksha from he has appeared to me in my dream, so therefore he is my guru. You can't go on doing things like that, especially when the Kundalini energy is awakened. Sometimes it could be risky also. You know that. It could be dangerous also. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, the next question is, if one experiences Shaktipat internally or in a dream, is initiation from a living guru still necessary?
Repeat the again question.
If one experiences Shaktipat internally or in a dream, is initiation from a living guru still necessary?
Just now we have discussed it.
Yeah, it is the same thing basically.
It doesn't make any sense now.
Yeah.
Finally, everyone is saying that the initiation has to be done by a living guru.
Physical guru, yeah. So the next question is remote or Sankalpam Diksha less effective than direct physical initiation, or are both equal in effect?
See, both are equally effective because even in case of physical diksha, the free will has to be exercised. Like every day I keep touching so many people, I keep shaking hands. It doesn't mean that Shaktipat will happen to them. Unless I have the intention in the mind. So if intention is the basic thing, so whether I perform Shaktipat by physical touch or without physical touch, I directly exercise the sankalpa or the free will, it's one and the same. There's no difference. However, generally it is suggested we should not resort to shortcut when there is a proper procedure available. Only when some procedure is not viable, it's not possible to follow the procedure, then you follow the alternative means. So as long as possible, it is suggested that one should give physical diksha and one should receive the physical diksha. But due to some constraints, if it is not possible, then go for the alternative means. So everything is based on the convenience. Remember that. Otherwise, the impact is same. Impact is same. There is no difference. But one should follow the sequence of convenience. Just because it is more convenient, so one should not resort to a shortcut and avoid physical diksha. So the physical diksha should be primary concern for everyone. If it is not possible, then you go for the alternate means. Okay.
Can a seeker have more than one guru? And does following multiple paths create confusion or deeper understanding?
See, if someone wants to follow multiple paths, he is most welcome. You can follow, but there won't be any deeper understanding as such. It is like climbing a mountain. You can climb the mountain from different directions, right? But once you gain some height, what is the horizon which you can see all around it? Up to which distance your eyesight is going? Up to which distance you can see all around you? It is based on the height which you gained, right? Let's say there are 10 different directions from which a mountain top can be climbed. Whichever path you may be climbing, or you are trying to climb into a path, come down again, climb from some other path, or again come down and try and climb some other path. Or if someone is trying to put in an effort and climb from all paths, finally what matters, what is the height reached in a particular path? The maximum height reached in any one particular path, that counts. Now rest of the thing, it doesn't matter, because it has now, you could see the horizon now all around it. He has managed to climb the mountain, let's say 70%. 70% of the mountain he has climbed. Only 30% of the mountain is left. He could see the horizon all around him. His mind has opened up. Now how does it matter now whether he has climbed through one path or he has managed to reach that height through multiple directions? So there's nothing on the deeper understanding as such. So whatever deeper understanding you get from one path, or you get 10 from 10 paths, it is the same. I hope now you understood. It may be that he has got more knowledge about the other paths also, but that is not the deeper understanding as you're calling. It is basically exposure to other paths.
But Guruji, by following multiple paths, don't you think it will delay their process of reaching the top of the mountain rather than
Yes,
focusing only on one path?
yes, it becomes more difficult. You are right. It becomes more difficult. It's better to approach one path in that way. Otherwise, the energy is getting frittered away. That's there.
Is self realization possible without Kundalini awakening?
I think we have already answered this thing earlier. What is Kundalini awakening? First, that needs to be understood. If you don't understand that, then people keep asking this question as a loose phrase. The burning down of karma, when it begins, that is called Kundalini awakening. And without burning down of the karma, how can the self-realization be possible? Right? So therefore, without Kundalini awakening, how the self-realization is possible? Because the burning down of karma has not begun. If I don't strike the light matches, how can I produce fire? Unless I produce fire, how can I burn the grass? Unless the grass is burnt, I won't get self-realization. Therefore, if someone's asking me this question, is it possible to burn the grass without lighting the match? How is it possible? Right? To drive away the darkness around you, you need to light the lamp, right? If someone says, how can I drive away the darkness without lighting the lamp? Is there any meaning to the question now? Now I hope it is understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next question is, many Advaita Vedanta practitioners reject the concept of Kundalini. How do you view this contradiction?
See, who proposed the concept of Advaita Vedanta? About 700-800 years ago, a sage called Adi Shankara. Adi Shankaracharya, he is the one who has proposed the concept of Advaita Vedanta, or the concept of monism. Now, Adi Shankaracharya only has given a detailed explanation in one of his book, that is Saundarya Lahari. Saundarya Lahari. In that book, he explains about the working of Kundalini energy. When the very proponent of Advaita Vedanta, Adi Shankara, he himself has written about Kundalini energy. Now, I'm not able to understand why his followers, the proponents of Advaita Vedanta, they don't agree with Kundalini. It's not making a sense unless they have a different opinion. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm also follow the Advaita Vedanta at my heart, and I'm also a follower of that 13th or 14th century sage Adi Shankara. I don't follow the social media Adi Shankara. I don't know why what is the confusion. I don't understand. So I don't want to comment on that, because Adi Shankara himself proposed the concept of Advaita Vedanta. He himself admitted in one of his book about the Kundalini energy. So how can his followers are not accepting it? What is the issue there? I'm not able to understand. So that's all I want to say. I don't want to make any further comment on this.
The next one is, if one seeker experiences intense kriyas and subtle phenomena, while another has deep devotion and inner peace but no experiences, who is progressing more authentically?
Look, if you are moving from one city to another city, or point A to point B, which are separated by a distance of, let's say, 500 kilometers, you got various options. You can go by train, you can go by air conditioned bus, you can go by a truck, you can go by a jeep, or you can go by a motorcycle or bike, and the experiences will be different. Each person, the experiences is going to be different. But do remember, everyone is trying to cover the distance. That 500 kilometers distance, it is getting reduced. Everyone is progressing, but the experiences will be different based on the mode of journey. The same is the case with the persons who are performing sadhana. Here the karma is different for each of them. The karma accumulated by each person is different. So when they are trying to neutralize that karma, the experiences which that person undergoes will not be same. It will be different. It's not that he is adopting a different mode of transport here, but he has already accumulated that karma already in the past. Now, when that karma is being burned down, the experience which is going to be felt will be different because of the difference in the karma which has been accumulated in the past. But progressing, everyone is all right. Everyone is progressing. So therefore, it is not right to say that someone who is experiencing violent kriyas is progressing well. Someone who is not experiencing or subtle kriyas is not progressing very slow. It's not that. The process doesn't happen like that. And moreover, one more thing: when someone is experiencing the karma, consequences of the karma, he has to ensure that the karma which is being experienced doesn't become a fresh karma again, a new karma. That means he needs to exercise a kind of state of witness. Suppose what if someone is failed to do that, whereas some other person who is experiencing that karma and he has exercised state of witness and the karma is being burned down. Whereas the other person, although he is also experiencing the same consequences of the karma, but that is becoming a new karma for him. So the other person remains wherever he is, whereas the other person is progressing. So it depends on that also. I hope it is clear now.
Then are spiritual experiences true indicators of progress, or they become obstacles?
See, certain experiences, they are treated as benchmarks. All right. Certain spiritual experiences, they are treated as benchmarks. Means we generally know that the person has reached a level. But then they may not become obstacle. But if person hangs on to those things, focuses more on his experiences, they will become a fresh karma now. Especially it happens when in the case where supernatural powers are supposed to manifest at some stage. It is more like a benchmark, and they have to manifest. It is a natural process, and someone gets stuck there. His mind gets diverted towards them. Then there will not be progress, right? So that's how it happens. So they do manifest certain experiences. If you get stuck there, then spiritual progress will halt, or it may degenerate also. If he remains in a state of witness and allow the experiences to unfold, don't without getting bothered, then his progress will continue.
Do siddhis inevitably lead to downfall, or can they be integrated into the path?
The same thing, how can you integrate
They-
into the path? I told you just now about the supernatural powers. They are touch me not types.
Yeah.
They are not supposed to be touched. They will manifest at some stage, but not to be touched. Big no. So hence they forget about the question of integrating them into spiritual and all that.
Yeah.
If you touch them, the game is over. They're
Yeah.
basically kind of a notional power, you can say that.
Then again, the same on siddhis. Can spiritual
It is
progress
something
be
like,
measured?
let's say there is a business tycoon who has got a lot of shares in his company, majority stakeholder. He is very wealthy. So I will not name any person. Let's say that he is one of the wealthiest person in the world because his company is doing very well, well. Now, what will happen if he decides to sell his own stock? The owner himself decides to sell his own stock so that he can enjoy the money. The share price will come down crashing. So that person remains wealthy, maintains his rank only as long as he doesn't touch his stock value. So for them, almost it's like a notional wealth only, in a way. Of course, you may be able to enjoy the little bit of the goodies of it, but otherwise, to a large extent, it becomes a kind of a notional wealth, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you an example. Okay, I'm not an economist, so I can't give you the exact details like this. So same is the case somewhat like with the supernatural powers or siddhis. Okay.
There's another one on siddhis only. Can spiritual progress be measured through siddhis, or are they irrelevant?
See, as I said, spiritual powers are supposed to manifest, and when they manifest, it speaks that it acts like a benchmark. We now know that person is progressing. At some stage, they're supposed to manifest, and when they manifest, we know that the person is progressing, and that's all about it. It doesn't mean anything else.
The next is the state of thoughtlessness or nirvichara the same as turiya, or are they fundamentally different?
See, the state of turiya, which we call it as the state of superconscious, is the one which we gravitate towards from the waking state. So when you gravitate towards that state, it occurs in two levels. One is the lower state, one is the higher state. So that lower state, what we are calling, call it as savikalpa, savichara, or sampragnata, by various words. And the other one is what you are referring to. So both belong to the state of turiya only, the superconscious. But one is of lower nature, one is of higher nature. But once the lower nature is affected, body quits, or the soul quits the body. Yoga is already over for him. Now, what happens in the next higher level, which you just mentioned, that is Nirvikalpa, it is also part of Turiya, all right, but no one has come back to tell the story. It's a different story altogether. There is some problem with your noise, I think, audio.
Yeah, he says state of thoughtlessness or nirvichara the same as turiya, or they are different.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Turiya has got two different states. One is a lower state, one is higher state. So what you are referring to, that Nirvichara, is the higher state. It is also
Okay.
part of Turiya, but it is of higher state. But no one has come back to tell the story. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah. Now the next one is self-realization possible without nirvikalpam samadhi, or is it essential?
See, again, it is related to the same question which you asked a little while ago. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is the higher state of Samadhi. Samadhi is usually of two. One is lower Samadhi, one is higher Samadhi. In the lower Samadhi, karma is completely burned down, and the soul quits the cycle of birth and death. It's over now. And yoga comes to an end. But the dualism is still there. The final merger hasn't occurred. That's what the Nirvikalpa Samadhi is referring to. But unfortunately or fortunately, No one has come back to tell the story what happens in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Theoretically, yes, Nirvikalpa Samadhi has to happen. Then only the final merger with the universal soul can be effected. But no one has come back to tell the story. As a result, we formulate all kinds of theories based on the indicators in the Sanskrit texts, wherein we have the concept of monism, we have the concept of dualism or Advaita Vedanta, Dvaita Vedanta, or the qualified non-dualism, what we call it as Visishta Advaita. Now, all speculations are ripe now. So, therefore, there's no point in even discussing it. Although there are certain indicators which are given in the Sanskrit text, which I tried to convey it in my book also, The Illusion, which I've written. But then that's also my own speculation only there. Because in theory, yes, it is the final merger can only happen through Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But in practice, it may never happen because the timelines are gigantic. The timelines are so vast. So for all practical purposes, it will never get never get affected. So in that way, every soul which is freed from the cycle of birth and death, it is not going anywhere. Eternally, it is retaining its identity away from the universal soul. So therefore, the proponents of monism, they are also right. The proponents of dualism or the Dvaita Vedanta, when they say that the devotee and the God can never become one, they are also right. Because the timelines are gigantic. So it needs to be understood from this perspective. And it is, I personally feel that it is pointless even to debate about it. The question which you were just trying to ask just now. Let's bother about freeing ourselves from the cycle of birth and death first. Okay?
Can Kundalini awakening or the Shaktipat path heal mental conditions such as depression or bipolar disorders?
See, Shaktipat is meant for burning down of karma. Right? So, now whatever the disease a person is undergoing through, it is a result of the karma only. Right? But there is a catch here. Suppose if someone has not shot the arrow into the air, you got all the control. Once the arrow has been shot in the air, the arrow is already in flight. No, how can you have control over it? Similarly, if whatever be the disease of the person, psychological disease or anything, if it is not yet manifested, and if he happen to receive, let's say, Shaktipat Diksha, because of the Shaktipat Diksha and sadhan, since all karma is getting compressed, so his karma also will get compressed and he will escape from the full impact of the disease. Maybe he may experience it in a mild form, but he may escape it. But if it is already in motion, the karma has already fructified. The person is already undergoing through the disease. Now, how can you perform Shaktipat on him to counter that? That karma is already in motion now. This is where people go wrong. And secondly, Shaktipat is not meant to be for a treatment purpose. And Shakti is a conscious entity. It instantly knows what the Guru is trying to do and what the disciple is trying to do. It will be counterproductive in a way. So it should not be treated as an instrument of medical treatment, Shaktipat, firstly. And secondly, even someone tries to do it, it will not work because of the reason I just told you. But yes, if it has not yet manifested the disease, it is possible that very much it may get buried and it may never manifest. Or it may manifest in a mild form because since the law of karma can't be violated, and the majority of the impact will get buried down. Only in such circumstances it may work.
How much seated practice is ideal for a sincere practitioner?
I have to repeat the question.
Hmm?
Please
How
repeat
much
the question
seated
again.
practice? How much seated practice is ideal for a sincere
Okay, seated.
practitioner?
See, my Guruji used to tell me, His Holiness Swami Sahajananda Tirtji, 100 minutes is a good session. 100 minutes means 1 hour and 40 minutes. It is enough. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Otherwise, there is no hard and fast. One can do it for as much time as one wants to do. But 1 hour 40 minutes is a decent time. Because since you have done this, don't limit on the time. One can't say, no, I have been doing silence for 10 minutes, nothing is happening. Obviously, nothing will happen. He has to do some amount of time. Then only that you will get the benefit of the volumes. So 1 hour and 40 minutes, okay, good enough, roughly. And as far as the seated sadhana is concerned, sadhana can be done in any other posture. We suggest that someone sits formally and then do sadhana in a formal way, so that it builds up a kind of a force of habit. So it becomes easy for him to sit and do sadhana. Even if his mind is not inspired enough, it doesn't matter. Because of the he will be able to sit and continue with his practice. So what anything else?
How can one distinguish between spiritual awakening and psychological imbalances?
Psychological imbalances and spiritual awakening. See, spiritual awakening means awakening of Kundalini energy, right? It is generally said that happens under one particular condition. That is, when every human mind is made of three qualities: Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun. When these three qualities are in equilibrium, approximately, we say that Shakti awakens easily, which means spiritual awakening takes place. So for the spiritual awakening to take place, there has to be some kind of a equilibrium in the Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattvagun. It is something like which I was mentioning in my book, The Power Unknown to God also. It's a kind of a saint come sinner personality. It's a kind of a saint come sinner personality. if that balance is not being exercised by a person, if he gets carried away by, let's say, too much of sattvagun, too much of charity work, donating to the poor, helping the poor, feeding the hungry, or construction of temples, construction of undertaking pilgrimages, too much of religious merit. So do understand, spiritual awakening is far away for him again. Similarly, if someone is undertaking too much of negative work, crime, indulging in crime, indulging in destruction. So do understand that spiritual awakening is still very far away from him also. So spiritual awakening becomes a far away thing in both the circumstances, whether he is a saint or a sinner. So that's the thing which you have to focus on and you have to consider.
Is sitting cross-legged with a straight back without support absolutely necessary, or can practice be equally effective in other postures?
Say again this question, I'm still not understood.
Is sitting cross-legged with a straight back without support absolutely necessary, or can practice be equally effective in other postures?
It is equally effective in other postures also.
Yeah.
As I said, this is basically meant for people who are practicing Ashtanga Yoga and all that. That is meditation-based Ashtanga Yoga. But however, as I said earlier, there is something known as force of habit. There is something known as force of habit. If someone does sadhana sitting in a particular formal posture, in a particular place, at a particular time every day, because of that force of habit, it becomes easy for him. That's all about it. Otherwise, it's not necessary. You can do practice. Sadhana can be done in any fashion you want, because we are not doing that meditation-based yoga practice here, wherein the spine has to be straight, suspended vertically. That requirement is not there in this per se.
Guruji, in one of the Shivam Deji Maharaj pravachans, he did, or in his book, somewhere I did hear him saying that initial days of sadhan, when you get initiated, after that, initially, you have to sit in a straight posture. Otherwise, the kriyas don't manifest, it delays. So he never allowed sadhaks to use any other posture in the initial stages, after the initiation of Shaktipat. Why is it that way?
Yeah, that's because, see, it is because of the to overcome the initial hitches. See, what we are talking about earlier, it is when the kriyas start manifesting. Now it doesn't matter in whichever position you are sitting, you can practice
After
it.
the manifestation of kriyas.
Exactly. So for the initial stages, we tend to follow all kinds of rules and regulations as much as possible. It's for that purpose.
Oh, okay.
Just like while taking Shaktipat Diksha also, we don't give Shaktipat Diksha to certain conditions. Like we say that it has to be an auspicious day, it has to be, the person has to take bath, the person has to be in an empty stomach, the person should be facing eastern direction. In case of ladies, the person should not be undergoing through menstruation cycle. We do so many precautions, basically to optimize the Shaktipat. But once the Shaktipat has been done, we don't follow any of this. Same is the case here. Yeah.
Next question is, many seekers attempt to awaken Kundalini through psychedelics like LSD or ayahuasca. Is this approach recommended?
It is a big no. It is dangerous, and it could lead to all kinds of complications which the modern science cannot even come to the rescue. Very, very dangerous. And the immediate thing which gets impacted is generally the reproductive system. The genital organ gets impacted first, and then there could be a total paralysis, partial or total paralysis of the body. Then there could be inexplicable mental problems. Anything may happen. So it is a strict no, and it is dangerous, and it is not advisable. Advised no, it is just strict no, as simple as that. And actually, there is no guarantee also.
Yeah. So one last question here. Are manual methods of awakening Kundalini through Hatha Yoga or other techniques potentially dangerous?
See, when done under the supervision of an expert, nothing is dangerous. Everything is safe. When someone tries to do it without the supervision of an expert, yes, they are risky things in comparison to other methods. For example, someone following the path of devotion, bhakti yoga, it is supposed to be a very safe method. Even if there is no guru, there is not much danger involved in this, because it is supposed to be a safe method. But in case of a thing like hatha yoga, it needs complete supervision of an expert because of the procedure which is involved in that. You see that complication which is involved here in hatha yoga. When kundalini energy is awakened forcefully, pran is going upwards in the human body, apan is going downwards. So the pran is pressed down, okay, and while exercising yoni mudra. Yoni mudra means all apertures of the body are closed by using the 10 fingers and both left heel and right heel. As Lord Krishna explains it in Gita, the anus is closed using the left heel and the genital organ is closed using the right heel. And by using these 10 fingers, all the facial apertures are closed. And when the prana is pressed down, since the mixture of pranavayu and apanavayu, it has nowhere to escape. It breaks through the entrance of the Brahma, that is Brahmadwar, or the entrance of the Sushumna Nadi, and it pierces the root chakra and starts rising the through the central channel of the spinal cord. So much of complicated thing is involved here. You can well imagine how dangerous it will be if someone tries to do it without the expert guidance. Anything may happen. Anything may go wrong.
That's all, Guruji. All the questions are exhausted now. So I think we have covered all the questions by sadhaks. Anybody else has any questions or doubts regarding these questions? They can ask Guruji now. One new sadhak is there. I don't know. Can you please introduce yourself? Galaxy A5. Sadak is not responding. I think nobody has any further questions, Guruji.
Okay, then we'll call it a day then.
Yeah. Okay, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very
If
much.
if there is anything we can take up in the next
Yeah, in the next
satsang.
satsang we can continue. Yeah. Pranam, Guruji. Charan Spash.
Thank you
God
very
bless you all.
much. Thank you very much.
God, Angela, God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Om.
Thank you.